The best takeout fried rice homemade. Today we're going to reveal a couple of tips to get that takeout restaurant taste right in the comfort of your home. Homemade can always be healthier, tastier, cheaper, and it freezes well if you're meal prepping ahead. So why not save yourself some money and time? And most importantly, we all deserve to eat what we want when we want it. Less stress for less. So let's begin. For this fried rice, I decided to add chicken, but you can add pork, beef, or just have only vegetables, or feature it with a protein and have it as a side. The choice is always yours. Just one reminder, as I always say before all of my videos, there are no rules. So choose to cook as you please as long as the end result tastes good. Don't limit yourself as a cook by saying, I don't have the skills. Let's prep up the chicken first. I'll be using a process called velveting, which is very common in Asian cuisine. The end result is tender, silky, and smooth protein when cooked in hot oil. The recipe is built for two, so multiply it when adding for more people. You can use chicken thighs or chicken breasts. About 10 to 14 ounces of chicken will do. You're going to make small strips with your knife, or you can dice the chicken. Nothing thicker than 1/4 of an inch is the real secret. Place the cut chicken into a bowl. Now we're going to add some soy sauce. This will be the flavor of the marinade. You can also use teriyaki, oyster sauce, or fish sauce. Any of these are great options in Asian dishes. Next, we will add MSG. This is another pro secret. It adds that savory to the marinade. A little bit of water or oil will do, although most velveting instructions will say add a couple of tablespoons of water, but I use oil. Then finally add cornstarch. Some people will say that you need to add egg whites. This is only an option and not a requirement. A lot of professional Asian chefs I know in my industry don't even use egg whites in velveting chicken. Okay, let's mix all of this into the chicken, cover and put into the fridge. Remember, the full recipe will be in the description, plus a link to the website in the comments section. Just like we prepped up the chicken ahead, we're gonna start the rice next. With fried rice or stir fries, a lot of restaurants use cooked items that are prepped ahead and cook the dish at high heat to give it that fried effect we're looking for at home. For this dish, I'm using jasmine rice. There's several types of rice you could use in this dish, but just trust me on this one, go with jasmine. Here's a pro tip to make perfect rice every time for fried rice or rice in general. Never cook rice on a stovetop, you leave too much room for error. Bake your rice in the oven or use a rice cooker. You want a non-stick baking dish. Make sure you spray the dish with non-stick spray, always. I'm making 2 cups of rice, which calls for 3 cups of water. Make sure you check the bag of your rice and follow instructions specifically. You'll want to boil the water first. Put the rice in a baking dish, then pour the boiling water on top. Smooth the rice down with a spatula so that it's level and flat. Cover with foil and cook for 35 minutes at 375. If for some odd reason your rice still has a little bit of water or it's not done, recover it with foil, sit it on top of the oven, not in the oven, let it sit for 15 minutes, it will keep cooking and it should be done after that. Uncover and immediately cool in the fridge. Next up is the veggie prep. I use onions, frozen peas, and baby carrots. I would have used fresh garlic, but they were out of it, so we had to settle for minced garlic in a jar. With a lot of food shortages throughout the country, you're gonna have to use what you can at certain times. Remember this. I sliced the carrots and diced the onions. I blanched the vegetables for this fried rice, which most restaurants do ahead of time. You can choose to skip this process of pre-cooking the vegetables if you want. I boiled the vegetables for about 5 minutes, then cooled in the ice bath. Then set this aside until you're ready for the fried rice process. Time to scramble some eggs. Very simple. For my recipe, I'm using 2 eggs. Just simply scramble that up fast. Set that aside. Now we are ready for the final prep stage before we start cooking. We are going to make our own Asian spice blend to use in this dish and all of our other Asian dishes to come. This will be called Chinese 11 spice. The spices are adobo, MSG, sea salt, peppercorn medley, which does have coriander seeds also, cinnamon, chili powder, ground cumin, ground cloves, basil, and ginger. Yeah, I know there's a Chinese 5 spice which traditionally consists of cinnamon, fennel seeds, star anise, cloves, and the 5th is usually a wild card between ginger and some type of peppercorn. In my 11 spice, I leave out the fennel seeds and star anise. You can get creative and add what you want, but I would caution that you stick to spices that represent the taste of the cuisine you're cooking. With all that said, you can copy what I have here, and you will always be pleased with the final outcome. Or just pick up Chinese 5-spice right in your local grocery store. For those of you who are following this, just blend all this together in a Robocoup, then store in a small container or a shaker so that you can have your own blend of Asian seasoning whenever you want. Exact measurements are in the description. I'm gonna cook off the eggs and set this aside to add in later when I have all the ingredients incorporated in the wok or pan. You can choose to cook the eggs at whatever point in the cooking process that you choose, but there is a method to my madness, or should I say greatness. Next, we will cook the chicken. Make sure your heat is high and cook the chicken fully throughout, but do not overcook. Ideally, I would have used a traditional wok with a gas stove. For video purposes and to show you, you can use whatever you have. I use this pan on an electric stove. Now let's throw everything together and make this dish. I'm hungry and it's another favorite of my girlfriend's, and considering she's controlling the cameras, it's got to the point she just can't wait anymore. Turn your high heat on, wait until you see the pan start to smoke. We're gonna start with the veggies. Add some neutral oil at first. I had some garlic oil on hand that I made from one of my other videos, plus I add a couple of dabs of butter. Use what you have on hand. Saute the onions first for a minute, then add the garlic in. Sprinkle some of that Chinese 11 spice that we made, a tad of soy sauce. Let's get that flavor working early. Add the peas and carrots in, saute this for a minute or two. Now we'll add the chicken. I dice up some green onions also and threw this in. Heat everything up thoroughly before adding the rice. When that's done, add the rice. Make sure you have enough oil in your pan so you get that fried effect with your rice. I mean, it's called fried rice. Here I also add soy sauce and a little bit of teriyaki. Did somebody say flavor? Finally add your egg in. Mix and toss everything in around. Now you have your grade A homemade fried rice. Serve this up in a bowl. Grab some utensils or chopsticks. Serve immediately. Chinese food leftovers are the best, plus this meal freezes well if you're meal prepping for a week or two in advance. Just store in an airtight container in the freezer, thaw overnight, then either microwave or heat up your food in a pan. Remember, if you like videos like this, hit that subscribe button. The support is greatly appreciated. Until the next recipe, eat healthy, save money, and I'll see you then.